Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Coffee and Contemplation brought to you by Spotlight Recovery. It is May the 14th. We've got a reflection today on hope, bringing the gift of hope. Something along those lines. Either way, I quite like it. I like that positive mentality and just sharing hope and positivity with that messaging, especially in recovery too, because struggling addicts need that so much. So anyway, let's get into it. The gift of hope. Yeah, there we go. The gift we can offer others is so simple a thing as hope, by Daniel Berrigan. Our actions and beliefs affect others. As we grow and change, we feel better. We view the world with more positive eyes. We must share this world with others. We were quick to share our beliefs when we thought life was mixed up and crazy. We need to be just as quick to share our hope. Each time we tell our story, we must be sure to tell what it's like now. We must tell about our hope for the future, but we must not just speak of hope, we must also put our hope into action. We need to become hope, not just for ourselves, but for those who still drink and use and suffer. Prayer for the day. In my hope, I find you. Higher power, help me to share my hope freely. And today's action. If I get stuck today, I'll first reach for the hope found in my recovery. If I see someone who is stuck, I'll share my hope with that person. This inspiration is from Keep It Simple, Daily Meditations for 12-Step Beginnings and Renewal. Yeah, so there we go. Simple, straightforward. I really like just that messaging behind it. Just about this carrying the gift of hope as we build that hope for ourselves in our recovery. Then we have to share that with other people and carry that message. I really like that a lot. And I think it's well laid out in this reflection. It's simple, it's on point, it's got some direction and some suggestions in it. I also like these ones where they break down different steps to it, right? You'll have like your quote, you have your the meat, the bulk of the reflection, and then a prayer, and then an action to get into it. As you know, I'm all about the action. We got to get into action here. So I really like that. Even just this opening, let's just go through it. Like the quote here, the gift we can offer others is so simple a thing as hope. I really like that. I really like that reminder of carrying that message, being hope, sharing hope for other people. That's a gift. It's something we can give. And as we work a recovery program, it's something we can give freely, so I really like that perspective and that focus on it. That following line is just great. Our actions and beliefs affect others. Just so straightforward. As addicts, we can get so caught up in our own stuff, or if we're overwhelmed by our disease, our concurrent disorders, our situation, whatever it may be, it's really easy to get tunnel vision and forget that we live in this world full of other people and that our relationships with them affect them, or vice versa. Or if they care about us, then the shape that we're in or how we're taking care of ourselves is going to affect them as well. That's a big one we can easily overlook and not think about too much. So just that simple reminder of like, hey, get out of self, get out of your head. Remember, you're on this planet with other people. You have these relationships and these connections. I like little reminders like that because I sure need them. So that's a nice little starting point here. And as we grow and change, we feel better. Well, we can grow and change to feel better and grow positively. Just these lines of we must share this with others. This is a great perspective here. We were quick to share our beliefs when we thought life was mixed up and crazy. We need to be just as quick to share our hope. Oh my God. What great messaging. What a great suggestion. I really like that. It's so true. Addicts are so quick to share the negative, to point out the flaw, to talk about how hopeless it all is and resistance is futile and there's no hope. I'm never going to change. Things are never going to get better. Never this, impossible that, excuse. Oh man, we're like absolute flag bearers of life like not panning out. So This line of we need to be just as quick to share our hope is really nice and a nice reminder, because it's funny how we totally can do that. We can freak out about and carry all this negativity, yet once we're feeling and experiencing all this positivity, there seems to be this tendency to keep it to ourselves. I've seen this as a common behavior with people I've worked with, and I know that I've done it too. So it's really funny. But that's just a good reminder of, we need to be just as quick to share our hope. Like, if anything, that natural tendency we have of like share the hopelessness, but keep the hopefulness to ourselves, it really should be the opposite. We really should have that opposite tendency and response, and it makes me think of that quote out of the Big Book right away where it says, the alcoholic is known for getting tight at exactly the wrong time. I mean, that classic. That's Addict 101. The worst time that we could lose our shit, we will. It's what we do. It's how it goes. So that's just what that reminds me of. So yeah, just being mindful of and wanting to share this message of hope and positivity as much as we can, more than the negativity, I think is really good messaging and a good perspective, an important piece. So I like that. And then in the second paragraph here, they break that down a little bit more. This is more on like speaking notes. So if you're at like a 12-step meeting or group therapy, doing whatever form of talk, we must be sure to tell what it's like now. We must tell about our hope for the future. And I really like that because, we've all heard, if you go to 12-step meetings, we've all heard drunkalogs. And that seems to be the more typical thing. And it's like, a part of that makes sense. Like, we can't be too hard on each other. Like, it is very hard to meet an addict without trauma. And so we all have and have experienced trauma. So then it's easy to get in that, like the tumbling down the rabbit hole, so to speak, where once you mention a traumatic event or story or mention something that triggers or reminds you of it, you then will pigeonhole and just talk more and more about that. So anyway, there's no wonder that it's a common thing. So a little grace for each other, I think, could be a really nice mentality. But yeah, that reminder for all of us, we must be sure to tell what it's like now. We must tell about our hope for the future. And it goes on, I like this further explanation of this, but we must not just speak of hope. We must also put our hope into action. We need to become hope, not just for ourselves, but for those who still drink and use and suffer. Oh, that, like, do you feel that? Like, that messaging is so powerful. That wording is so good. I really like that. And I agree. I feel that same way. I like that as a motivator. It's a great motivator for this. And it's also very in line with the steps, right? Step 12 talks about essentially the whole point of this program is to give it away. The whole point of recovery is to help others, is to then help the next person who needs recovery the same way that you did. It doesn't just stop at you. It's not just, oh, I'm good, I'm recovered, I don't need meetings anymore, so I'm not going to go to them. It's like, well, that's not about you. Like, maybe the meeting needs you. Maybe you need to go to that meeting because other people need you to go, and you can share this experience and all of that. Like, what, you don't have an hour? Like, I really like that perspective, and I think it's really important to keep, especially for us addicts in recovery, just to help combat that easy thinking we can get back into around selfishness and self-centeredness. Gets us out of that and just gets us in service, out of our heads, helping others, giving all this stuff away, because I don't know if I could see an addict who has gotten sober like by themselves, gotten sober without a lot of generous help and support from others in order to get there. So it's kind of our job now to do that same thing to the next person in line. So I really like that messaging and about carrying that message. And for me, when I hear we need to become hope, it's like that just takes it even farther than like, oh, this person doesn't just talk the talk, they walk the walk. It's like, no, you live that every day. I guess that's what walk the walk can mean. But it feels like more than that. Like, you don't live it, you are it. Like, that becomes a characteristic of you. The same as when we're doing our inventory and we have character defects and we look at all these negative sides about ourselves that we don't like, making this a positive side of ourselves, being a hopeful person, being a beacon of hope or light, whatever that may be. Just, oh man, so powerful, so beautiful. And like, that feels so good. It's like, why would you not want to do that? Especially coming from this hopeless space of feeling so trapped by an addiction, thinking that there's no way out and this is all your life is going to be, to then fully transforming into then being hope for other people, that they can do the same thing, that they can have that same sort of freedom and that change in their life. Oh my God, that fires me up so much. That is why I do this. That's why I started this podcast, this company, everything. I'm literally making that my life's work. And it's not like, this isn't a brag, oh, look at me point. Like, no, whatever, fuck that. It feels so damn good. And, I've been sober over 12 years now, and that feeling still doesn't go away. This magical feeling of just remembering how hopeless I felt and how impossible things felt compared to how I feel now, that still hasn't gone away. And I remember seeing people who were that hope for me when I came in, not understanding how I could get from where I was to where they were, but them telling me to trust them and believe them, and they'd show me the way, doing the work bit by bit, year by year. Here I am. It's unbelievable. That part of me still can't get my head around this. Like, I said this in a session earlier with somebody. I was just like, is this my life? Like, is this actually what my life looks like? It still hits to this day. So, God, why would I not want to carry that message? So, yeah, take it from me, take it from this book. It's such a fantastic thing to do in recovery, in life. It's such an amazing path. So I really hope you choose to take it as well. So powerful. Oh, man. And yeah, I'm just going to finish on that. That feeling and the power in this message is so good. Yeah, they've got the prayer in here and then the action on what to do about carrying this message, but we were just talking about that. So like I said, that's the point we're going to finish on today, is that hoping that you will choose to become hope yourself and carry that message and do this, because recovery is not about you. It's not about me. It's about the next person, the others who are still suffering, people who haven't got this freedom yet. That's what it's about. That's who it's for. That's who we do this for. We don't get sober for ourselves. We get sober for more, to make more of a change than just rescuing ourselves from that hell. It's like we need to rescue ourselves from that space so that we can then be of service to others. Like, that's like the first step is doing all of that work. Rid ourselves of our addiction, and then spend the rest of that energy being able to help others to do the same. It's an amazing path. It's a beautiful experience. I just can't suggest it enough. I got stuck on like 3 different slogans there at once. So yeah, I just hope you choose to walk that same path too and make these same choices too. You'll be amazed at what comes of it. You really will. So there you go. Thank you for checking out today's episode. Oh, I'm all fired up. I'm all over the place. In the description, we've got a lot of other ways that Spotlight Recovery can support you and ways you can support Spotlight Recovery. So check all those out. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. I do private recovery coaching with folks and do this work with people. So take a look there too. We've got a written copy of this reflection in there, so you can save it to your phone and check it out and take a look there too. And that's it. So wishing you a blessed 24 in your recovery, a very hopeful day for your recovery. Hopefully you can feel some hope for yourself, share some hope with others, and we'll see you again tomorrow.